Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 9. It's very exciting to see us moving along to the class as we're now on week 9. And we will be talking today about the role of entrepreneurship in small business. This is a very exciting conversation because many of you in the class, or some of us in the class, we own a small business or we know somebody who owns a small business. So the contribution of the U.S. Of small business in the U.S. economy is really big, and we're going to see it in our lecture today. Understanding small business, you really have to get to know the Small Business Administration, which is the source for all things small business related, including statutory definition of small business. They also deal with a lot of financing, including access to loans, investment, capital and grants, and preferential access to government contracts. So if you're an entrepreneur, you own a small business, SBA or the Small Business Administration is really something that you need to know, that you need to be aware of. The next one we're going to talk about is eligibility criteria for SBA and government contracting programs. To be part of SBA and other government contracting programs, as a small business owner, you must be a for-profit enterprise. You must be dominantly make business in the United States of America and physically and operating in the US, independently owned and operated. The value of small business in the US economy is big, as I mentioned earlier. Did you know 99% of all business in the US are small businesses? In addition to that, small businesses employ 47.5% of all the US economy. So that is really big. Now, most small businesses are run by individuals that we call entrepreneurs. Now, entrepreneurs can be an active state as far as owning a small business. An entrepreneur can also be a mental state, as well as even if you work in corporate America, you may have an entrepreneur mindset, meaning as Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it, somebody who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business or an enterprise. You will see that an entrepreneur is someone who sees opportunity wherever they are. So if I were to take this whole class and drop them in the Amazon, right, in the forest, some of you may see the forest are a bunch of trees, you're surrounded by trees, and you're in trouble. Some other people may see, hey, we're surrounded by trees, and we're going to become lunch, breakfast, and dinner for animals. Other people may say, wow, what an opportunity. We have access to woods. We can build houses. We can build furniture. We can survive in the jungle. So entrepreneurs really see things differently. They see opportunity pretty much in everything. Everywhere they are, they see things that they can monetize. They see a hole, they see a need in the market. This is a way they can do things better to provide a current service and work effectively to create a solution. They're carefully designing how the solution will be made and distributed. So if you find yourself in a situation where everything that you see, you can find a way to make money off of it, or you can create a solution, you can provide a better way of doing things, you do have a mindset of an entrepreneur. Some common traits of entrepreneurs deal to ideas and drive, people skills, their work style, usually they work a lot, financially savvy, and they have entrepreneurial background, financially savvy, because you do not want to create things, make money, and then you do not know how to keep money. You will soon discover, and the market and finance is not really how much money you make that matters, it's really how much money you save or you can invest, which leads to different types of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs DNA, author Joe Abraham realized that although entrepreneurs share common traits, they do have distinct different personalities. And to be successful, the strategy has to match the person. Yes, many people are entrepreneurs because if you think about it, it's a global, it's a international trait. As a matter of fact, I have known entrepreneurs who've never been to school. So schooling is not really one of the criteria for you to be an entrepreneur, but it's really the mental state. Meaning some people are builders, right? They focus on scaling a business quickly. They measure success in infrastructure terms, office square footage, size of payroll. Some other people are opportunists. They measure success in financial terms and is always scanning for the next money-making opportunity. Some other people, they are specialists. They're experts. They are experts who generally spend their career in one industry. They measure success based on their personal income. And you also have people who are innovator, the mad scientists of the world. They measure success based on mission, not money. And you have people also we call hustlers. There's many of those people may not have the corporate background. They may not have the resources available for them to be specialists. They don't have specific knowledge, but they have general knowledge that really give them the edge in terms of going out there, see things differently, and make something off of it. Now, a reason to be entrepreneurs, you have to do with opportunity to make an impact, ability to live by your own rules, from values and culture to dress code, and membership in an elite group of leaders indoors, no bench time or waiting to be chosen. Pretty much you have the freedom. Things happen when you do, things do not happen when you don't do. So that is also some of the traits of entrepreneurship. Some additional reason you want to be an entrepreneur, it's extreme learning and personal growth. Failure is not really failure as long as you learn something from it. You can have multiple businesses. Some of them may fail, some of them may succeed. Bottom line is, it is up to you. You call the shots, right? Recognition. After all, entrepreneurs are the rock stars of the business world, right? It is you. You're the CEO. Some entrepreneurs, they are the CEO, they are the marketers, they're the COO, they are the CFO. They build something for future generations, and they define success on their own terms because nobody can fire them. So as we talk about entrepreneurship, this is a great discussion question. Since we're not in a class setting in terms of students asking questions, but I would like for you to reflect on that. Think of your personal interest in the business environment in your community. If you were to plan a small business based on your personal interest, what business would you start? Because if you think about it, every single one of us, we have some stuff, we have some traits in us, we have some hobbies, right? And we have some interests that we can monetize. The question is, do we care about doing the work to make money off our skill set and our talents, or do we care much more about the leisure of making money for some other people, and we're satisfied with a paycheck and we don't have to worry about all the headaches that come of owning a business? So how would you reconcile your personal interest in the business environment in your community to found a small business? Now, there are some advantages and disadvantages to consider when you're talking about an entrepreneur starting a small business. Starting a small business is a matter of self-reflection and self-determination. It is not something to take lightly and say, I'm going to start a business. No. That would be bad, because a small business owner must have an extreme amount of latitude in both businesses and lifestyle choices. So if you're parents, you have children, do not quit your job to go start a business, because many small businesses fail within 5 years of time. And you have responsibilities, right? The benefits, measure, and impact, revenue, and infrastructure are essentially unlimited, and you have the freedom to choose your business purpose and goals. Those are some of the benefits. Now, you must keep in mind as well, the decision and you must take responsibility for the decision you make and the results as well. As a small business owner, you will probably be risking your own capital. As a business owner, you're probably gonna send no guarantee or regular paycheck, or no paid or subsidized benefits. As a business owner, you may say goodbye to your current lifestyle. As a business owner, you will be responsible for business development, planning, HR, IT. You wear all those hats. Do you find joy doing that? Is your dream really have more of a plus than all those things that I just mentioned? And some people start without knowing those disadvantages, and they fail. The inability to execute on the business concept, lack of insufficient market demand, lack of products or service. Because you have a product and all your friends and families like it, does not mean you really have a market for it. You have to do your research. Lack of awareness and ability to respond to emerging trend, relevant developments such as technology, regulatory, geopolitical, environmental as well, and competitive actions. over dependence on a single customer, and inability to manage growth. So all those elements contribute to the failure of small business. Now, you must have a strategy when you decide to go and start your own business. Do you have what it takes? Can you work 80 hours a week? Yes, I said 80 hours a week. Can you do that? Can you stay up late after midnight to plan to market your business for the following day? Can you quit your day job? Can you do all that? How would you describe yourself in your own words? Are you resilient? How would a colleague describe you in 3 adjectives, your family members? Do you have a viable concept even? Is the reason you want to start a business consistent with your character and concept? Do a reality check on why you want to start a business. Your why is what's going to keep you motivated when things go bad. Now, small business is really, I would say it's a great concept to embrace because it's your baby. You have a dream. Many small business started because the owners saw a problem, they wanted to solve it, and the next thing you know, it blows up, right? It grows so fast. However, what many people don't tell you, those things don't happen overnight. There are a lot of struggle. There are a lot of personal sacrifices. There are a lot of sleepless nights. There are a lot of perseverance to get contract, to get customers. And before you see all the small business owners in the limelight, many of them were struggling when nobody saw them. An example is the Fry Festival. This is really a good example that many of you should really Google it about the Fry Festival, because it is what we consider to be a scam, where you have it was supposed to be advertised by famous models like Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Haley Baldwin. And it was built as a glamorous party on a deserted island. Tickets cost up to $100,000. And guests who booked, their promised luxury accommodation and the best food, art, music, and adventure in the Bahamas. However, when people get there, that was not what they saw. It was a complete disaster. And there were a lot of lawsuits. Some people spent about $90,000 for their tickets. And we were talking about the whole notion last week about how do you structure a business so that if you were to get sued, many people paying $90,000 could only get $7,000 back in the lawsuit. The organizer only take about $57,000 that they had when they're trying to get everything set up. So people end up seeing taint instead of what they were promised. So this is a good case study that many of you should really take a look at into doing some research. Now, some steps to start a small business, is very essential that you follow this. If you already have a small business, or if you're planning during starting a small business, please take this into consideration. Do some market research. The key insight is that doing the research would allow you to test drive and fine-tune your product. Your hobby is a hobby. If there's a market for it, great. If there's not a market for it, don't push it. Or you may not be where there is a market, so you have to do the research to find out where the market is. Write out a business plan. Yes, the business plan distills your research and analysis into an actionable plan. If it's not on paper, I am sorry to tell you, it does not exist. Yes, it's in your head. There are a lot of things in your head, so you have to write it on paper. Fund your business startup costs, right? There's always going to be some price to start up your business. Family loans, or it can be you do start small until you raise enough money. Pick your business location. You will hear in marketing, location, location, location. Even it's on the web, location does matter. Choose a business structure. Most of us will say start as an LLC, or you can start as a partnerships, right? Although partnerships usually cause trouble. Just putting it out there. Choose your business name. Choose a name that describes your business. I have seen this to be very interesting when you talk about choosing business name. You can select a name that is very, very specific, right? That really put you into, for instance, McDonald's, Subway. Those are very specific names that talk about restaurants. You have Delta, American Airlines. Those are very specific with airlines. You also have, if you're talking about Bank of America, Nations Bank, or Wells Fargo Bank, those are very specific. Or you could have also business that's very generalized, right? Meaning you may start with a product. If it does not work, you jump to another product. Procter and Gamble, what do? Nobody knows, but they own a lot of products, right? So keep that in mind. Register your business. In order for you to become legit, you must have your business registered. If you have a logo, you could trademark that and also buy the domain name. Obtain a federal and state tax ID so you can file for taxes, apply for state licenses and permits, and open a business bank account. This is where most entrepreneurs fall short. They run their business from their personal account. If you created an LLC and corporation to protect your personal assets, commingling them with business transaction and personal transaction is not a good idea. If you're gonna get sued, they can have a veil piece into your personal to really show that you do not know how to manage your finances. So on this slide, you will see the different business structure, which is very relevant to what we were discussing last week, and the business plan that we talk about. And hopefully this week, I know some of you struggle with the business plan. Last week, I tried to provide some support. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you that I was able to talk to or work via emails. And if you're still struggling, do not quit. Please send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you. Your business plan must have an executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization and management, service or product line, marketing and sales, funding requests, if applicable, financial projections. And that's most of the activities that we did last week. You must have some projection, because if you do not, you're not going to have the drive to really bring those money in. When you know what you want, let's say next year, if you want to bring $500,000, $500,000, if you think about it, it's not that hard. If you take 500,000 divided by, 10 months, that's $50,000. $50,000, that's $25,000 every other week. So when you break it down like that, you can see it may really help you so that it is affordable. And appendix, usually that's where you provide all the additional details. More quick review, we talk about define small business, contribution small business into the US economy. What is an entrepreneur? What are some of common traits of an entrepreneur? The different types of people who become entrepreneurs, and explain what some business venture fails, and list of consideration in deciding to start a business. I hope this Zoom lecture is helpful to you, not only for the class, but also if you plan to start a business, if you already have a business, you can have the steps to start your own business, describe the step to really put a business plan together, and briefly discuss the component of a business plan. Thank you so much for joining us. May you all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. See ya.